Good morning and happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Late to Work podcast. I'm your host, Parker, and thank you so much for joining this morning. Today we have a beautiful morning in Michigan. I'm running just on time to work, a little bit close, but I think I'm going to make it there on time. And there's a dude standing in the road. He's taking pictures. Back to the podcast. I hope your morning is going well. And a little update this morning. I'm sure a lot of you know this, but you can get your iPhone battery replaced at Apple because they had that whole battery fiasco. So you can get it replaced now for $30, which is crazy cheap. I think it costs that or more at any other place. So by all means, take advantage of that, because if your battery life is going down on your phone, just go into Apple and they'll replace for you for $30. Go get your battery replaced and your phone will literally work like brand new. And today we have a submission from a girl named Rese, and Rese loves to travel, and she's traveled a lot more than me, it sounds like, and let's hear what Rese has to say about traveling. Rese, take it away.
So I love to travel. I've done a good bit of traveling so far in my life. This particular story happens in Barcelona last summer. So one day I get on the bus and it's completely packed, like standing room only. Like, you're lucky if you can find a pole to hang on to because it is packed, like touching people on all sides. There's no extra space. And a woman gets on the bus, and this poor lady, she has two small children with her. Like, one is a fresh newborn, like brand new, just a couple weeks old, that she's holding, and the other one is maybe like 2 years old and is in a stroller. And right away I'm like, ooh, that is not gonna work out, because this bus is like flying through town, careening around corners, and the lady can't hold on to anything, and she's like falling over. My sister and I are literally holding her up, and some other randos like, I got the stroller. And she was so apologetic, but everyone was like laughing about it, and we're like, don't worry about it, like, we got you, you're fine. And it was just pretty funny. And so we chatted with her for a little bit until she got off, and some gentleman like lifted her stroller down the step for her, and then everyone went on our way, and that was it really. But the story doesn't end there, because 2 days later, it's time for us to leave Barcelona, and we have a layover in Manchester, England, on our way back to Amsterdam. And guess who we see at the airport? The lady and her two kids. Like, I could not believe it. Out of all the people in the world and all the countries that we could have gone to, all the buses we could have gotten on, and all the flights, like, we see that same lady 1,000 miles away. That just is like, that's so wild to me. Because normally when I travel, I feel like the world is so huge, and like my little corner of the world in Granville, Michigan is such a teeny tiny little sliver, but not on that day. It felt real small on that day. So, I mean, that was it. That's it really. That's my story. So, thanks for listening.
And we're back. Thank you so much for sharing, Rese. I really love hearing that story. And I hope you can come back on sometime and tell more traveling stories, because it sounds like you probably have a lot of stories to share. And today we're talking about cars. And as some of you listeners know, I had to sell my old car. It broke down, and I got a new car recently. I got a Honda Accord. It's in really good shape, and it's got low mileage, and I love it so far. It's got a really good interior, and it was well kept, and like clean title. It's just like perfect scenario. So I really like the car, and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't know if any of you have ever gotten a brand new car before, or almost. I mean, like your first car that you really like and stuff. It's a pretty cool feeling, and I'm sure you can connect with it if you've had it. So I like this car. I still have to name the car, but I love it so far, so that shouldn't be too hard. And I got it checked up at the shop just to see if like everything was okay and I'm good to go for a while with this car. And I was expecting at least like one thing to be off, but we got it back and there was literally nothing, like absolutely nothing wrong with the car. It's in perfect shape, and that was it. So I'm pretty excited. The one thing, I have two complaints about the car. One is the license plate. This is such a small thing, but the license plate, like some of the bolts the top 2 bolts are basically like not usable. So you can only do the bottom 2. So it's hard to like screw it on. I'd rather have it secure than not secure. So it's kind of challenging. I don't really know how to fix that. Maybe we just have to drill the holes bigger or something. So that's a little frustrating. And then the second thing is that I keep running out of gas in the car. I keep having to put more gas in it, which is frustrating. I wish it just never ran out. That's the one thing that I got to keep refilling. But someday we're going to have like electric cars and they're solar powered so good so that you just like drive forever and you never have to refill them. That'd be awesome. But we're not there yet. Hopefully someday we can get to that. Again, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We're still working on getting this podcast onto iTunes, so stay tuned for that. And if you listen to podcasts mainly on iTunes, your turn is coming, so get ready to listen to it on iTunes. For the Late to Work podcast, I'm your host, Parker. I will talk to you this Thursday. Have a great day.